After a headline-grabbing Taiwan visit, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has arrived in Japan. Shortly before Pelosi's arrival, the Japanese government protested that 5 Chinese missiles appeared to land in its economic zone. Pelosi is expected to hold a breakfast meeting with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and meet her Japanese counterpart, the lower House Speaker Hiroyuki Hosoda. Before that, the House Speaker was in South Korea in the capital city, Seoul. She met with South Korean political leaders in Seoul, and while in South Korea, Pelosi refrained from commenting on tensions in the Taiwan Strait and China's ongoing military drills in the region. However, she spoke about North Korea's nuclear program.
When we come and travel as a delegation, our 3 main pillars are security, economics, and governance. In all 3 of those areas, the U.S.-South Korea, U.S.-Korea relationship is very strong, and we learn from each other.
We also discussed the North Korean nuclear issue. Both sides expressed concerns about the dire situation of North Korea's growing threat. We agreed to support the efforts of the 2 governments to achieve practical denuclearization and peace through international cooperation and diplomatic dialogue, based on the strong and extended deterrence against the North that our people can actually feel.
An in-person meeting could not be scheduled with the South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol due to his scheduled vacation this week, but the 2 leaders held a 40-minute phone call. Pelosi promised close cooperation with the U.S. Congress for the development of their global strategic alliance during these talks. For more on this, we were earlier joined by our correspondent Susan Teherani from New York. Let's take a look.
It's very interesting because as she focuses on North Korea, there is a NPT review conference happening here in New York, where I am at the United Nations, and it's a time when countries like South Korea and Japan are reconsidering their position about being nuclear free because of the threats that they are facing. For example, Japan regarding China, South Korea regarding North Korea. So not only did she create that kind of controversy with China and Taiwan, but she's taking up really almost an unwinnable fight when she's going and trying to go to that demarcation zone with South Korea and North Korea. And you know, opening up this conversation. It's not clear what she's trying to get out of this, and if she's trying to perhaps, as you mentioned, deviate the conversation to North Korea's issue, where possibly she will rally a lot more support, because more countries, of course, are against a nuclear-capable North Korea than, for example, you know, an all-out condemnation of China. The fact that the South Korean president did not meet with her face-to-face, there has been rumors, was because, you know, he didn't want a photo op ultimately with Nancy Pelosi, although the office of the South Korean president said that this vacation was planned long before Nancy Pelosi arrived in South Korea. But you just see the nuances of the region and whether or not Nancy Pelosi really bit off more than she could chew heading back to Washington.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.